Yeah, if you want to do 2 segments, let's do 2 segments. But if you can't, I also understand. Okay, well we might do that then. Yeah, that's and all that, because I'm curious what your thoughts were on this race. I enjoyed it, but I'm also seeing criticism of it. I believe that, and anyway, we'll go from there. Okay. Yeah. And all this. What, by the way, stories should I look at that you've written on NBCSports.com, say on NHRA and such like that? What can we give you a little bit?
I had a real big story on Kenny Burns late last week that was really well received, and I also something on LN the other day. Quick question, what time do you have right now?
I have 12:21.
Let's go to about 37 minutes.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I do have one break, but yeah, here we go. And I'm sorry, my monologue went a little. We had a kind of a big Johnson City story here, so I wanted to comment on that. The man to talk to on local sports talk radio about NASCAR is this guy, Jerry Bonkowski, NBCSports.com. When he's not writing about NASCAR, he's writing stories that have been well received about Kenny Burns, Al Unser Jr., all sorts of motorsports. And he's also giving the inside skinny on Jay Cutler. So, which he's done in the past. Jerry Bonkowski, it's great to talk to you. And I guess I want to ask you a open-ended question. The Daytona 500 last Sunday, what were your impressions of the race?
I thought it was actually a pretty darn good race. I mean, I understand that there's some criticism out there that, Austin Dillon may have pushed Eric Almirola out of the way and caused the wreck, and then that's how Dillon went on to win. I don't exactly see it that way, though. I mean, I think that, they were both jockeying for position. Whenever you're in the draft and the cars are that close, things are going to happen. And I didn't see it as I didn't see it as a intentional move by Dillon to wreck Almirola. They just were going for the same position, the same place, the same real estate at the same time. And sometimes when that happens, somebody's going to wind up going into the wall. That's exactly what happened. But I don't think there was any ill intent. I don't think there was any desire by Dillon to wreck Almirola. They just were going for the biggest race of the season, and Dillon winds up winning.
That's stock car racing. That's not, open wheel racing or Formula One. That's stock car racing. And it was, to my opinion, a great moment. Now, I mean, if you want to say maybe it's a flaw of the sport or so, that's what makes a great NASCAR, checkered flag moment, okay, but still, the sport grew with, certainly here in Bristol, we know all about Earnhardt and Labonte in the 90s, right. 95 and 99. The sport grew that way. Now you have the 3-car and the 43. I guess, though, that's one thing that I want to ask you about. We heard all about, as I was watching, isn't it great that the 3 and the 43 are at it again? And yeah, there is some sentiment to that. But, and for that matter, the 11 that Cale Yarborough once made famous, finishing 3rd. But at the same time, it's not Cale Yarborough. It's not Dale Earnhardt. It's not Richard Petty. Is there too much given to, shall I say, the car instead of the individual that's driving the car in this sport? Your opinion, Jerry Bonkowski?
Well, I think I can see where some people might say that, but, let's face it, we're in a whole different era of NASCAR. We're in a whole different era of type of race cars they have. We're in a whole different era of the drivers we have. And, certainly the numbers are the common link for today as to back in the past with Richard Petty for the 43, Dale Earnhardt with the 3, and the 11 with Cale Yarborough. I get that, but, it's a whole different ballgame right now. I mean, it'd be like saying, not only the drivers that drove it back then, but also the drivers that are driving those cars now, too, as well.
We're talking to Jerry Bonkowski, NBCSports.com. Camaro finishes first and second. All last year, Jerry, we were talking and really waiting with bated breath about the Camaro. They didn't do so well in the exhibition last week, but now 1 and 2. What are your thoughts on the Camaro in NASCAR racing? Are we going to go to pony cars all the way around in NASCAR?
Well, I'll tell you, you're talking to a diehard Dodge guy, right, myself. I really like those Mustangs. I think they're sharp. They definitely are going to cause a lot of excitement. They already have caused a lot of excitement in the sport. And I think that, what you hit it right on the nail on the head there, Marky, when you said about the pony cars. I think that, you're going to see going forward that sooner or later, Ford's going to probably go with one of their pony cars, with the Mustang. You'll probably see Toyota either develop a pony car type of thing or do something because, this is definitely a marketable vehicle. And, the old saying of race on Sunday, sell on Monday, that is so appropriate with the Camaro right now. I mean, it's just become a really hot car. And, if Dodge comes back into the sport, as it has been rumored in the next, year or two, they've got not only the Challenger, they also have the Charger as well, too. So, I think that, going to the pony car style of cars is only going to be a plus for NASCAR and a plus for the manufacturers as well.
Well, you are making the station owner, Maria True, very happy because she owns 2 Mustangs. Late model, if you will. So right there. You may also be making my cousin Duncan, who inherited the 67 Camaro that had been in the family convertible, very happy as well. I don't know. I'm going to have to stick by the sedans and my convertible Caprice and Impala here, though. So anyway, Jerry Bonkowski, this is the first segment. We'll come back here in a couple of minutes, and I want to ask you about, was a new star made in NASCAR? That's what's coming up here on Tri-City Sports Now. Finishing up the Daytona 500 when we come back. Tri-City Sports Now.